I'd like to talk to you a little bit about hunger. Hunger's a very interesting thing, and if you stop and contemplate when you're hungry, you'll probably find that there are different circumstances that trigger your hunger. So it's not just a signal from your body telling you that it's time to eat. Now, there are some people in the world who have really studied hunger. These tend to be people who practice fasting, like Buddhist monks in very remote areas, or Indian yoga practitioners. And when you talk to a group of people who've really studied a certain subject, you find they've got more classifications than we have. You probably heard the story that if you talk to Eskimos, they've got many, many words for different types of snow, whereas to those of us that don't live in that kind of environment, snow is snow. So here are the 4 types of hunger that you can discover in yourself. And by learning which type of hunger you're experiencing, you can start responding in the correct way to your body. And this is a really important thing, because often we're so insensitive that we're just feeding more fuel in, hoping that we're going to fulfill the demands. So we have 2 forms of hunger which are genuine forms of hunger, and 2 false ones we need to be careful about. The 2 genuine forms of hunger are, first and foremost, the need for some form of vitamin or mineral. And you can tell when it's this form of hunger because you find yourself thinking, oh, I really fancy, and then you'll choose a certain type of food. And you're probably thinking, oh, I recognise that type of hunger. Well, next time that comes up, know that you're after something specifically. It's not that you need any more energy, you don't need any more carbohydrates or protein. You probably need a vitamin or a mineral of some type. The Buddhist tradition teaches us that movement, I'm over my mouth, that is associated with this form of hunger. That's actually us trying to work out what it is that can give us the nutrients we want. Now, because modern food is calorie dense but nutrient poor, be careful about trusting your urges. You'll often choose something which doesn't deliver high vitamin and mineral content. So when you get that kind of hunger, have some fruit, have some vegetables, take a multivitamin. Don't go and get whatever that food that gives you an urge or that responds to your hunger initially. If you keep doing this, you'll learn to recognize specifically what you're after. Because there hasn't been a cause and response for so long, because you've just thought, I'm hungry, and you've gone for whatever is easily available, you haven't ever learned to make the connection between the need for nutrition or need for vitamins and minerals and that specific type of hunger. So if you practice, you'll be able to hone in on what your body needs better. The second type of hunger is actually a need for more fuel or more building blocks. And you'll find that people tend to express this in the Western countries and in better fed areas with, I'm ravenous. When you say I'm ravenous, when you really feel hunger, it's a different feel of hunger. It's like an all-consuming hunger. That's when you actually do need some carbohydrates, you need some protein. That's when it's time to apply some food. And to do that, actually do use the meal as a cure for what your body is telling you to give it. So view it as a medicine, a cure for your hunger, and make sure your dose is correct. And be aware that it takes a while for your body to respond. It takes 2 or 3 hours for your body to fully respond to this type of hunger. So eat some, Wait a couple of hours. If you're still hungry, maybe you consider having something else. Then we have the two forms of false hunger, and be really careful of these. Really careful of these. The first one is a fear response or a competitive response hunger. So this is left over from our times in the pack where we had to compete for food. And you'll find that you eat more when there's groups of people around. And if you watch your emotions very carefully, you may actually even find that you are eating more to make sure you get enough. This can be triggered by certain environments, and a lot of fast food chains, they know that if they paint everything red and they make it all noisy and full of bustle, then it'll trigger this hunger response and we'll eat a lot more than we plan to. So when you're in that kind of circumstance, make it a rule. Make it a rule to let others eat first and really control yourself, because you'll only be able to see the true situation as to what you need hunger-wise after that feast has finished. The next form of hunger is a form of signal confusion, and you may have had this. You might be tired, and because you're tired you feel a need for energy, and it's not that you need any more calories. You're looking for something to increase your energy and to get things moving again. You may even find that you have sometimes got thirst and hunger confused. That's quite an interesting one. I've experienced that. You feel very hungry and you have something to drink and then you're okay. So this confusion hunger, which is when your body's asking for something and you're misinterpreting it. So it's saying have a rest, and you're saying, oh, have a donut. Or it's saying have a drink, have some water, and you're saying, oh, have a donut. And that leaves us in a confused cycle that can end up with far more calories than we need. So what's the best bet? While rediscovering these 4 types of hunger, it's best to go through a process of elimination. So you have to kind of treat yourself like you would a baby. I feel hungry. Am I tired? Well, I had a rest a while back, so it's not that. Am I thirsty? I'll have a drink. Is it a vitamin or mineral I'm after? I'll have a light salad. Then, if at your next meal you're finding yourself still very, very hungry, you know it's genuine. And that way you actually go through the layers of the different types of hunger as you get to the truth. Make sure you fulfill the no calorie, then the low calorie forms of hunger first. Go through those possibilities, because a mistake the other way means we put on excess weight and taking more calories than we need, and that's not very healthy. So look out for those 4 forms of hunger. Learn to recognize them in yourself so that you can naturally eat what your body is asking you to. And now a poor kitty with a sore eye.